Okay, today's tutorial is going to teach you how to set up Class Dojo and how to implement Class Dojo in your classroom. Class Dojo is a great tool to use in the classroom if you want to promote positive behavior, if you want to kind of have an easier way of classroom management, and also setting up a reward system for students to promote positive behavior in the classroom. The website for Class Dojo is www.classdojo.com. It is completely free to sign up. It is very user friendly. And like I said, it is a great tool to use in the classroom for your students as a behavior incentive. So I'm going to show you how to sign up for Class Dojo. If you do not have an account, which more than likely you don't if you're watching this, you're going to click sign up as a teacher or a parent or a student because parents and students can also sign up for Class Dojo. Parents can use it at home, but most teachers use it in the classroom. And I've used it for about 2 years now. It is great. It works wonderful. I will continue using it. And like I said, it's very easy to use and to implement, very user friendly. So you're going to sign up as a teacher. Once you click that, you're going to click teacher. Then it's going to take you through all of this where you create your settings information, where you just put in your information, you create a password, email address, and all of that. Now, because I already have an account and because I want to show you all how to use Class Dojo, I'm going to go ahead and click out of this and I'm going to just show you how to use Class Dojo. So because I've already logged in, I'm going to click to come on in. And once you get into Class Dojo, if you're getting in for the very first time, the only thing that you will see on your screen, you will see your ad profile where you have your name. You're able to add a profile picture if you would like to. I haven't added one. And also, you will see your elementary school. This allows you to see what other teachers in your elementary school are using Class Dojo and also to connect and share. You can message those teachers over Class Dojo if you want to just say, hey, well, how are you using it in your classroom? Can you give me some tips? So it's very good for collaborating among your colleagues as well, just to get some ideas on behavior and how to use it in the classroom. Now you're going to see demo class and you're going to only see this where it says to add your class. Now I'm going to show you how to add a class in Class Dojo and you'll need to do this as your very first step before you can even use it in your classroom. So you're going to add your class. We're going to create one, give your class a name, and for the purpose of this tutorial, I'll just go with Williams Readers since I teach the ELA class. You can pick an icon if you're, kind of picky about what icons you want to use. I tend to be. I usually like to have my icons be cutesy and relate to something that I'm teaching. And since I'm teaching reading, I'm going to leave it right there as the book. I'm going to select my year, and I teach third grade, and then I'm going to create my class. Now, once you get right here, you're going to be adding students. Now, if you already have a class made, you can just import from a previous class roster, or you could copy and paste from another class roster. But 9 times out of 10, if you're creating a new class, you're going to need to just type in your students. So let's just type in some names. I'll put in Julia Williams. All right. And once you type in a name, there's your little student's name as well as their avatar. Now, this gives you the option to change their avatar. You can recreate their avatar. And now, even if you give your students their codes, which you can do, I haven't done it, but you can give them a code. They can log on and they can change their avatar. And that's really fun for students. Usually at the beginning of the year, a lot of my colleagues take the kids to the computer lab and let them create their own little monster, and that kind of gives them just some personalizing of their behavior. Students can also log in to just see their behavior, monitor their behavior. Let's type in another name. I'll put in my son. Hit enter, and there's his little man. And let's go with another one. I'll go with a colleague. Alright, so now I have my class created, and I'm going to click Next. Now, these are your behaviors. Now, these are positive behaviors. If you like these behaviors, you can keep them. This is just default behaviors that Class Dojo gives, but you're also able to personalize it to kind of fit more so for your classroom. If there's a behavior that you want to target, right here is where you're putting in to target that behavior for your classroom. So for example, helping others isn't something that I really want to target in my classroom, but what I do want to see happen is my students raising their hand to speak or get out of their seat. So instead of helping others, I'm going to click here to edit this. I can change my icon, and since I want to go with raising your hand, let's go with the bubbles because I want them to raise their hand before they blurt out or anything like that. So now I'm going to change the behavior. So from helping others, I'm going to change it to raising hand to speak. Alright, now I can also change the weight of this behavior. I can say that instead of it being worth 1 point, it can be worth 2. But most of my behaviors I leave at 1 point. I usually don't weight my behaviors. I just leave it at a point. So now that I'm done, I click Save. And as you can see, that behavior from helping others has now been changed to raise hand to speak and not misspell speak. So let's change that. Really simple to edit and save. So now it's spelled correctly. Now I may want to add a behavior. So let's add a behavior, a positive behavior, and I may want to have my students to, let's say, walk in the hallway quietly, because that's one that I'm really big on at school. So I'm going to change my icon. And let's see, I'm going to walk, let's change it to, let's change it to the airplane because they're moving. Alright, so I'm going to change this behavior, I'm going to add this behavior to walking in the hallway silently. And I'm going to click Save. Now, that behavior has just been added. And if I don't want 2 icons that are the same, I just showed you, I can go in, I can edit a behavior's icon without editing the behavior and vice versa. So now that I've gotten my positive behaviors, let's take a look at the behaviors that I want to work on. If a student is doing something that I don't want them to do, I can give them a consequence by deleting a point if I click the needs works behavior. Alright, so now let's click on, I'm going to click on bullying. If I don't want bullying, I can click to edit that. I can change it to blurting out. That's one of my pet peeves. So, and now I'm going to click Save. And we have talking out of turn, which is blurting out too. So I could click to edit this one. I could click to edit this. Or I could add a behavior just like I did with my positive. Now once I'm done, I'm going to click Next. Now here they're going to tell me I can connect with parents where I can, and it will give me a list of codes to send home to each individual student, and it'll be their individual code where they can log on and change their avatar, or their parents can sign up, and parents can go in and take a look to see what behaviors their students have been doing well during the day and what behaviors need work on. This is a really good tool right here if you want to collect data, if you want to have a parent conference to back up and say, well, you know, you can go on Class Dojo and see the behaviors that I'm speaking about, or these are the behaviors. If you go on Class Dojo, you can take a look at little Timmy's behavior during the day, all of that. But I'll invite my parents later. So now I'm done. So now I'm going to get to my class. So in the mornings when you get to work, you log on, you're going to click on your class. Alright, so let's get going with giving some incentives. Let's say that we're doing independent work, which is the most of the time that I use Class Dojo when I'm doing independent work. So let's say that we're doing independent work. I've given my students something to do at their desk. I've explained everything well, and now it's time for them to work on their own. So I'm working as well, and I'm looking around the classroom, and from my computer, I can walk over to the computer and I say, oh, Ethan, you're doing so well, you're on task. I'm going to give him a behavior point, and it pops up right there on my screen with his name and the behavior that he's doing well. But let's say that Jamia is not quite on task and she continues to blurt out. So now I'm going to go to hers, and I might say, you know, we really need to work on blurting out. So that's going to cost you a point. So now she lost a point. Now, this is a very good tool, again, for encouraging that behavior. Students absolutely love to hear that little bling and see their points build, and they absolutely hate to hear that little boom and see their points decline. So it's really good visual for students, and it helps them to monitor their behavior, and it really does work well. And also, I may want to award multiple students in the class. I can click right there. I can either select all the students, or I can just select one or two students. I can select all, give award, say that everybody is participating, and everyone received a point, and it gives me the number of students and what they received their point for. It also gives me a timer option. I can do attendance with this. At the end of the day, if I would like to, I can print out a report. The reports show me the behavior. I can see my behaviors for my classroom, or I can see my behavior for individual students. If I click on Amy, it gives me her behavior for the day. I can also message my parents, or I can send a whole class message, or I can message individual parents if they have signed on and I have given them permission to sign on and give them the code. This is a great tool for data. If you have a student that is constantly giving you a behavior problem, collecting data in this way is super easy, very user friendly. You can also take this data to SST. It does the chart for you. You can sit in an SST meeting or an RTI meeting, and you have your data right here to back it up and prove it. And it's also great if you have allowed parents to log on, because they cannot deny that this behavior is going on in your class. At the end of the day, if I want to, I can reset all my bubbles and everybody starts over. I tend not to. I let my students build. This is a great tool if you have tied it to some classroom rewards. My students constantly work to get to rewards. I set my points in increments of 10. So like for 10 points, they may get a classroom reward in class. For 20 points, they may get to choose lunch with a friend, where they get to sit in their own little special place in the lunchroom with a friend. For 30 points, they may have soft feet. So I tie my points to things that are easy and quick to give the student, something that's not going to cost me a lot of money or time, and it's something that students want, and it's quick, that it is a quick turnover. Once they receive their amount of points, they can immediately get their reward. This can also be used with an iPad or an iPhone. A lot of days I walk around with my iPhone and my iPad, and I'm able to click on the app. You have to download the app. It's absolutely free from the App Store. I'm clicking on the app. It links with the computer. And I can click a student's name on my phone or on my iPad and give them a point, and it immediately shows up on the computer screen. So if it's on the active board, my students can see it. So I'm not just tied to working at the computer doing this. I can be walking around the room, and you can use your iPhone or iPad as a remote to give student points. Again, the Class Dojo is very easy to use, very user friendly. It's a great incentive for students. Parents can log on and use it and see your points and see their students' behaviors. Great for data, and it's very fun for not only just the kids, but it's also fun for the teacher. Once you get on and you kind of play around with it and you see your different things that you can do, But today's goal was just to teach you how to get logged on and how to set up a class and how to get going with Class Dojo. I hope that this has been very helpful. Thank you for watching.